Hey, it's Geek Public Radio right here on geekpublicradio.com. How are you doing? I'm Topher. With me, as always, is Chris. We are hanging out, having a good time in studio, talking about a lot of stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about a new hitch in the Microsoft Activision deal. We're going to watch the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer. We're going to be talking about how Ghostbuster fans are worried about the Afterlife sequel and a possible redemption arc with me and Rust. All that and more right here on the Geek Public Radio.
You're listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys, talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and generally be old in front of your eyes. Not cool. Now, here's Topher and Crazy Chris, being all old.
Yes, we're being all old, hanging out right here.
That is what we are all over the place right now. You can check all of our socials right up there at the top. Find us on Twitch, find us on YouTube. But like he said in the intro, my name is Chris. That is Topher, the paranormal hobo, the one and only paranormal hobo. There are lots of pretenders to the throne. I met one the other day. He was downtown. Kept ranting and raving about ghosts and his liquor. I
just think he was just a hobo.
He was talking about an awful lot of paranormal stuff. I'm just saying. Anyways, we're going to be talking about all those crazy things and more. But before we get too far into that, make sure that you smash the absolute crap out of the like button. And I know you can't actually physically smash the button, but you could pretend like you do. You can click it 15 million times. Just make sure you don't do it 15 million to 1 because it takes off the like. You don't want to do that. And also, you guys can subscribe to our channel, get notified every single time that we go live. You can do both of those things on Twitch and on YouTube. We are a very few short hours away from being able to become the partners at YouTube. We are slowly sliding into that beautiful, wonderful place where we can stick it to the YouTube guys and tell them what to do with their money, which is give it to us. This is exactly what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. The easiest way for you to help us is to share out these videos, man. I know that sometimes we don't talk about the things that you guys want to talk about, but if you give us just a couple of minutes of your time, just that very short amount can actually help us out tremendously, man. So all we're really asking for you to do is just stick around for just a couple of minutes. Allow us to regale you with tales from the older generation about games in this day and age. We will be talking about those things, but make sure that when you're doing so, are you ready to queue up what I'm about to say? No, you're not. Not even a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Our engineering team is behind the 8 ball just a little bit, trying to get some other stuff done. But I was actually going to talk just a little bit really quick about some Fallout 76 action. So I'll just go ahead and do that while he's finishing up what he's doing over there. The Pit released. Haven't had a chance to really talk about it last week. There were some health incursions. There were some other things that we needed to get done. So we did have to put the show on a brief hiatus. Not a big deal. We missed a couple of weeks here. We do apologize for that, guys. But we will be coming back to you every single week from this point forward. Unless barring something tragic, that is what we will be doing for you guys. So stick around with us. Make sure that you do all those crazy things. But Fallout 76 released the new Pit expansion. Not really an expansion, I guess, but the expeditions. So far, so good. I do like the way that it's constructed. There are some, as always with any Bethesda game and with any new releases, there are some consistency issues and some server issues. But barring that aside, structured really well. Doesn't feel awful. It is kind of fetch quest oriented, so that's a bit of a downer. But the actual expeditions themselves are enormous, and they're essentially glorified daily ops. But super fun. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Actually has kind of reinvigorated my love for 76. So I've actually been playing pretty much every single day. Trying to get my dailies done, actually trying to get the scoreboard finished. I did it last time too, but I pretty much just stopped after I got the scoreboard done. This one actually feels a lot better. I very much enjoy the expedition. So if you guys have been putting off maybe playing as a partial review or waiting for somebody to kind of tell you, hey, this is the jump that you needed, this is the kick in the butt from me telling you to get back on, hop on there, play some 76. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun, man. Way better with friends, as always with any multiplayer game. Way better with friends, with people that you're familiar with. But the way that the systems are structured now, it does become a lot easier just to jump in a team that's doing an expedition, right along with them, and then you can collect the things that you need to start your own expedition, and then everybody can kind of go back and forth. So it's 4 of you can go on 4 expeditions a day. It's worth a lot of cool gear, get you a lot of stamps for like the new currency that they're doing. It's a lot of fun. I very much enjoy it. Highly recommend it. Like I said, you're going to run into server issues. It's just an inevitability. It's going to happen.
And I need to turn my phone.
Yeah, you need to turn off your notifications before the Samsung decides to get a wild hair up their butt. But again, if you guys are going to be watching the show with for any length of time, make sure that you go and check out ExpressVPN, the system that the pros use to keep their data safe. Now, you may think that if you jump into like, a private browser, that you're hiding yourself and you're hiding your data, but the sad truth and reality is that it's still accessible to your IP provider or your ISP. It's still accessible from, to your work, all those things. So get ExpressVPN. The reason that you want to do that is tenfold, right? It helps keep your data secure, keeps prying eyes away from the things that you're surfing and browsing on. When you go and visit the dark web, you want to make sure that you're connected to something like ExpressVPN, because you never know. Predators lurk around every single corner. You don't want to be taken advantage of. But one of the cool features about ExpressVPN is that you can actually change your country code of origin. So you can watch videos that are only available to you in like England or in Germany or even in, well, not necessarily Russia now, but if you want to go to like, Zimbabwe and check out something that's only available there, you can absolutely do that. Just change your country code of origin. They've got excellent server bases, so their speed doesn't decrease. So you're still able to browse with impunity, download the things that you want to do, or download the things that you want, and not really lose any speed while you're doing it, man. If you use our code, you can actually get 3 months for free. So you get 12 months plus 3 months for free at expressvpn.com/geekpublicradio. Get your 3 free months, man. Use the codes that we use the systems that we use to keep ourselves safe. expressvpn.com/geekpublicradio. Special thanks to them for sponsoring the show.
And now you can breathe.
That is not a long enough video. That's the one they sent us, and I'm like, God, it's not long enough. It's stupid.
One breath.
But I'm good. Topher, how the hell are you, man? It's been
Not
a couple of weeks.
too
Doing
bad,
okay?
Not too bad.
All right. Good.
Got into stuff, but we're going to talk about that at the
we're toward the end, right? We're going to talk about your redemption arc. I know you're super excited about it. You've been giddy all week long. You've been, we've been doing this. Like, I know, buddy. You're trying to get me to do. You're trying to hook me into it forever. I love my building sims and my survival sims. So it's an inevitability. I'll be there. But
we have a place.
I know. We'll get to it in just a second. But let's start with the crazy news, right? So Activision, the merger between Activision and Microsoft is hit a little snafu, hit a little snaggeroni. Yes, anything with EA can't be perfect.
It switched over and everything has went okay up to the point where it hit the EU. And the EU is
as in the European Union, for anybody who may be curious, is what we're referring to. We actually mean the European Union.
They have actually started to kick back, and they are pulling everything out minutely, and they're going over it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that there's not.
So they're actually investigating the crime that is microtransactions, essentially what was online gambling before online gambling was legal.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They've already worked on that one. In fact, I got a letter back from our local thing thanking me for my concern, and
nice.
That was it. That was.
We appreciate your concern.
Yeah, we appreciate your letter.
Go F yourself.
Remember to vote in the fall.
Listen, if you ever want to get anything done from a state representative, do it in an election year.
But so they started to actually like piece apart the deal and whatnot, and it looks like it's at the behest of Sony, who is making the claims that even though Microsoft had every occasion that it possibly has ever been brought up, they are pushing that Microsoft still intends to take the titles that they are acquiring off of all of the markets and having it only the thing, even though every single time that has been brought up,
except for Starfield.
Well, Starfield is now launching
as a Microsoft, as a Sony exclusive,
right?
Or as a
because
a
it's a brand
exclusive.
New game, but it's not Call of Duty.
I know, but listen. This is how monopolies begin. Listen, you could totally use our electric grid. It's fine.
Right. You got that, but you have games that are only found on Epic. You have games that are only found on Steam. You have games that are only found on. To say that they're going to monopolize gaming, you still have Steam, Epic, Origin, all of these other platforms out there. Plus, PlayStation has their own.
I'm not a fan of the merger. I haven't been since they announced it. I think it's foolish.
You're going to lose the problem is if Microsoft doesn't pick up Activision Blizzard, there are going to be no more Call of Duty games. That's going to get sold off and whatever, because they are not in the best seat at the moment.
I'm not denying that.
So the only way to save the games that we're talking about wanting to make sure we keep is to make sure that the person who's coming in to take over is going to be able to take over those games.
I have no doubt
or
in
else
my
they
mind
disappear.
that Microsoft is going to make available games like Call of Duty and other Activision Blizzard titles. I have no doubt in my mind they'll do that, because from a practicality standpoint, there's zero sense in cutting your own throat. You're cutting your market in half. There's zero reason to do that. I think the claims being made by Sony are probably completely baseless. I honestly, you want to know what I think it is?
Didn't they just pick up a new game?
This is what I think it is. If you want me to tell you what I think it is, this is it. Okay, it is quite literally Sony just being a thorn in the side of Microsoft. That's it. They're just being an annoyance. They're being the tiny little bumblebee around the giant, and the giant can't swat it down. There's nothing they can do about it.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things that it's even Sony just went out and picked up another game publisher.
Yeah.
And are moving all of those titles.
Sony could make an absolute metric crap ton of money if they start financing these indie studios.
Yes.
Like
totally.
I'm genuinely shocked that Nintendo hasn't taken some of because these are these nostalgia based games that they're making, like these pixel games that they're making, would fit perfectly with the gamers who love the Switch. Like we don't, I didn't buy my Switch because it was a technological revolution. I mean, it kind of is in like its own way, but it's not a graphical revolution. It doesn't set the bar for the way a game should look, but it has Smash Bros. I mean, who cares? But I mean that in the funniest possible sense. Like,
literally, I know people that only bought it because of Smash Bros.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that would do that. I love that game. It's a ridiculously fun game to play. But my point is, these are I love these pixel art type style games. I love them. They're wonderful. Like the RPG that I mentioned the last time we were on the show, and the name is eluding me to save my life right now, but it looked very much like Secret of Mana, and also had like a Final Fantasy type feel to it as well. And I was like, this game is gorgeous, and this would fit right inside the Switch library. Like it would run in 720, right? And even with the new Switch that they have, it would still be able to run HD style. It would still look gorgeous. You could put it on your TV and still play it. Nothing about that keeps me from, or nothing about this game tells me that it belongs on an Xbox or it belongs on a PlayStation.
Right.
It looks like it solely would belong on a Nintendo console, right? So the fact that Nintendo's not pushing some of these indie developers, I think, is a huge, huge mistake. Now, I'm not one to tell Nintendo how to run their business because they make money, period. They're a giant. And what's always been funny to me is, and I heard this stat, and I need to know if it's still true now, but I really need to check this stat. But I read this, that Nintendo could post billion-dollar losses for 16 straight quarters and still be in the black.
I believe it.
Like, that's insane. And that's with development. That's what they're keeping their current budget as it is, that they could post billion-dollar losses for basically 4 straight years and they would still have money. That's insanity. They launched the Wii U, which is arguably one of the greatest disasters of modern console, right? Of modern console gaming.
Yeah, it's literally just
and it was like a blip on the radar. We've all forgotten about a blip on the radar.
Because you had the Wii that was
massively
like a
successful.
Rock star. And the Wii U came out, and everybody's like, I'll stick with my Wii.
Right. Like, what's the point?
Why do I need to upgrade to a Wii U?
They did have some cool games. Like Zombie U was like super fun game. That was amazing. But like it felt like a Virtual Boy type of situation, which I still have my Virtual Boy, and you're not a hardcore fan unless you have one. But anyways, it still works too. Amazingly still works. I could probably sell that for like a bunch of money to a collector. I'm sure they would love it. I got the stand and everything. And a crap load of duct tape that holds it on your head. Like I made a headband out of duct tape.
That might bring the cost down.
It'll be fine. Fits any head. But anyways, like I was saying, so I genuinely think that Microsoft being the juggernaut that it is, I think Sony's honestly just playing the annoyance, the thorn
Right,
in the
but what
side.
I'm
I
saying,
think
what
that's all
that's
they're
what I'm
doing.
saying is we're getting into that territory where we're in the final hurdles.
Yeah.
They're already making announcements. Yeah, this is going to be exclusives. These are, they're Kojima is working and doing an exclusive. There's all of these talks that, like with Microsoft, and with one hiccup, we could see the Kojima game pushed back because there's,
Oh, I'm
we could
sure.
we could see not another Call of Duty revamp
For years.
for years, instead of like one every year. It could be,
Which I think is an oversaturation anyway. I've always said that. I think
Yeah.
first-person shooters are the most oversaturated gaming on the market. Especially war-based first-person shooters, I think, are the most oversaturated first-person. Like having a good first-person shooter, like a loot shooter, like a Borderlands, for instance, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, massive success, huge game, fun as hell, absolutely hilarious. Preachy without being too over the top. Like it's still got some some obvious inclusivity, but wasn't so ridiculous.
wasn't like hitting you in the face with a tuna.
It kind of did, but at the same time, it was still like it still presented it in such a way that it didn't feel like it was pandering, like which is one of my
With
chief
that
gripes
one, like
with a lot
even
of
if they're
stuff.
hitting you in the face with a tuna fish, it's literally done with
Yeah,
for that reason of being
like it
over the top.
felt natural, which is all I've ever asked. If you include something that isn't typical, and I use that word loosely when I say typical, so please understand it's a reference, not a generalization, or it's a generalization, not an actual like idea.
Yeah.
So, but introducing those concepts in a natural way makes them far more palatable to fucking assholes. It just does. Like there are a lot of people out there that will just crap on an idea because they're like, and they feel like they're being hit in the face with it. Just introduce something in a natural way, and it makes it like, and especially the way that Borderlands does things, it's always funny, no matter what it is. It could be something totally normal, and it's funny. No reason. They just present it in such a humorous way that you're like, this is great. Like Borderlands, like the Wonderlands has a gay skeleton, right? Like it's hilarious. It is Borderlands. The way that it presents Wonderlands has me, and I loved it. I thought it was a hilarious addition, and
that was scary.
It was perfectly done. I know I could hear myself. It was bizarre, but having those types of things in those games is fine. And with first person shooters being, like I said, like to drive back to the point, having a loot shooter like that, which is funny, it's humorous, it's inclusive, without being smack you in the face and be ridiculous. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you take a war shooter like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or whatever, I don't see a lot of difference. Now, Modern Warfare 2 beta, it's fun. There's a lot going on, and I was like, this is actually rather enjoyable. I'm kind of enjoying playing this. But I can almost guarantee that after I get about a dozen hours, maybe 20 hours, 30, 40, 50 hours into it, it's going to feel exactly like I was playing Modern Warfare. It's going to feel exactly like Black Ops. It's going to feel exactly like Advanced Warfare without the jumping mechanics, which is the hit detection in that game is so underrated, and it is so underappreciated. And you guys are haters for making Advanced Warfare go away. You just didn't like the fact that you had to stop looking down at the floor and like straight ahead and doing your 360 no scopes, that you actually had to look around and aim, and that somebody could jump off a wall and jump behind you and kill you, and it just made you mad. You guys are a bunch of haters, and that's why that game didn't get a lot of love. Advanced Warfare was a fun-ass game. And I'll die on that hill. I'll die on it right now. It's a fun game. You guys are jerks. Making that jumping mechanic was amazing. The wall running was great. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, the wall running and everything.
The wall running was so good.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they take that from Titanfall?
Yeah, 100%. And they did it. And it was great. It was amazing. They run along a wall. That's freaking incredible. It was super fun.
It kind of goes with the first-person shooters. It kind of goes back to every Call of Duty is like a Madden.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like the gripe that we had before. Yeah,
just reskinned.
Yeah.
They might add like one or two new items.
Yeah,
or whatever. But like the spine, like body armor, not armor, but you know what I'm talking about, the
exosuit.
Yeah. adding that so you can jump a little further and do the slides. And
Yeah, it's silly stuff like that. We got a comment over there. What's the comment? Hot babes in your area. What was it?
Advanced Warfare POG.
I'm an idiot.
Not yet homeless.
Not yet home. Listen, I am 100% on board with you. But
it's play of the game. It's like
I know
it's the boss.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to equate it into like 90s slang, so
I know, right? Listen, we're old. You can't do that to us. I knew what POG was. I'm just sitting there going, Advanced Warfare play. I was wondering if they're like, are you referencing the? Anyways, I got it. So we're good. Brain slow. I was in default mode. Sorry.
It's the bomb diggity, yo.
The bomb. God damn. I hate this show. I hate so much. But like I said, Modern Warfare 2, it's fun. Like I've been playing the beta. It's super fun so far. And like 20, 30 hours into it, I'm gonna be like, ho hum. It's another Call of Duty. Like,
right.
And that's fine. Formulaic games can be fun.
I honestly only play it for I only play those games for the campaign. And when I started like skimping on the campaign and like the one that didn't have one,
was it Cold War? I think it was Cold War.
Like I didn't have any interest because I don't like playing online because I am not.
Oh no, it was Warzone. Warzone didn't have a campaign.
I'm not that dexterous here. So
you're not huge on PvP. You never have been.
Yeah, no, and that's something we're going to talk about later. But
yeah, I'm totally okay with it. It doesn't bug me too much.
It only bugs me when like 5-year-olds are wandering around and teabagging you because they have like 350,000 hours on this game, and I'm like, I'm brand new.
I've told this story before. Shit. But speaking of teabagging, we were playing Vader Immortal, the first one, and you get to this little robot scene, and you get your lightsaber, and you have to fight this robot, and this robot's, basically teach you. It's an introductory thing to your lightsaber, and you have to block lasers, and then you have to like actually cut it down, and there's some skill to it. But I have been playing lightsaber style duels since I was a child, and I'm good at it. So I picked up this game and I'm like, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, come on. What's the next challenge? Like, let's go. Like, let me fight Vader. I'm ready to go. Vader beat my ass. But anyways, so, but I cut this robot down, and my son, I'm wearing the VR, I'm wearing the Oculus, and I literally cut this down, and I'm kind of immersed in what I'm playing and what I'm doing. So I walk over to the robot, and I literally physically teabagged the air. Like, and I just hear my son go, "Did you just teabag that robot?" And I just kind of went, yes, I did. Fuck that robot. So yeah, teabagging is hilarious to me. I've always thought it was funny. It's the most childish,
right, but
immature thing.
But now, if you do it in a thing,
you could get banned.
Yeah,
this is stupidest rule. You suck. Get teabagged. Those are the rules. That's what I'm saying. Like this generation, I swear to God, some Karen saw that. She was like, "Is he dipping his virtual testicles on my virtual child?"
That whole thing stemmed from, it was an announcer for an event.
Yeah,
and like he just went off and like, "Oh no, that's not cool." Yada yada yada. We were trying to make this thing, whatever. Like no teabagging. That's so toxic and this, that, and the other. We're going to get that out of it. And I was like, you want to see toxic? I got a game for you, but we'll get to that later.
You are just ready. You're chomping at the bit. For
like
that.
It's been my world for like 2 weeks now. So it's like everything in my head is
it's revolving around this right now.
Well, I'm even like in the back of my head as we're talking, I have like building plans that I got like back here that are going on. I was like, maybe
because of course you do. So we've got So there are potential for delays with some of the games that might be coming out with the Microsoft Activision with the merger. But one of the delays that has got some fans that pretty upset, and myself included. I'm a fan, so I'm upset. Is the potential that Afterlife, the sequel to Afterlife, is very likely going to be delayed, and we're kind of lacking some of that information. But I'm kind of it was your thing. You pulled it up, so I'm gonna let you talk.
The reason that people are upset about they're not upset about they're worried about this is we would expect for a Ghostbusters movie to be already in filming. If it's going to be released next year, I don't have the button on the thing. I don't have the touch panel yet. But if it's going to be released in December of 2023, it needs to be in process like right now. So if there is that whole every time he does this, my brain shuts off. So you got people worried that it took a year and a half for the 2016 game or movie to get into theaters. The Afterlife started filming in 2019 and was slated to be 2020, but got pushed back because of COVID to 2021. Given the way things are going now, they're only going to have 9 months. There's only going to be a 9-month window between when they wrap on filming and when the release date was set.
I mean,
instead of the 15 months that like everything leading up to it, 15 to 16 months that everything leading up to it has taken. Granted, the first Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 only had a 9-month window between filming and release.
I mean, maybe that's what the new Reitman's trying to do. Maybe he thinks he can do it.
I don't know. I mean, if you rush it, you get haunted house animations.
The Ghostbusters that shall not be named.
The haunted mansion. You get haunted mansion ghosts instead of
actual decent looking ghosts.
I would have really cool one just walking across the screen, like everything's going on. They just kind of walk across the screen going, I think we've made a wrong turn. This isn't Disney.
This is not Disney. We're gonna just totter on back. So we're in the movie making business. We understand that finishing a movie is not exactly the easiest of endeavors.
I'm still editing.
I know.
The part that we shot.
I know. I need to get over here at some point so we can actually go through that sound together. Because thankfully, I was present for the majority of the sound roll, so I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this scene. This is perfect. I know where this goes. But yeah, going through that was, I mean, just the labeled stuff and trying to find the things that were like, oh god, that was just a nightmare. Terrible. But I'm not. It's difficult for me to justify announcing a release date for something that hasn't even begun its full production.
That's been like you announce production, you wrap production, and then you go,
and then you announce the date.
Then you go, okay, it's going to take. We have 157 scenes that require CGI.
15 months. Each scene requires about a day.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like that's a full 24-hour day. Like, so each scene is like 3 days worth of actual work time.
Like, okay, we need this scene. This one
can't have
scene
booty
alone,
crunch culture.
This one scene alone will
booty. Sorry, go ahead.
This one scene alone will take a team of 7 artists to fully render.
Right.
And it'll take them a week to get this one scene done.
Right.
We have 13 teams working on it. But if there's a massive amount of scenes that need whatever, and it has to work together, so they're sending, like, I got this scene done, I got my part done, I'm sending it over to you for you to do your.
Right. Like, everybody has to be on the same.
I have the ghost put
That's
in.
a well-oiled machine. If we had more people, we could probably build that. But we have.
But that's
the
concern, because everything you're looking at like at least 15 months of work to do, and they have 9 months to do it in.
Right, and it's very unlikely that's going to get done, which of course has led to the full speculation. There's not been an announcement, so for anybody who's wondering, this is pure speculation on our part, on the parts of fans, but it's people who have worked in the industry that are saying,
in a world out of pure speculation.
of OSHA violations. Anyway, speaking of Rust, anyway.
You see yourself out.
You don't even have to ban me, you two. I'm done. Forgot we're not allowed to talk about that. But from people who have worked in the industry, from people who have made and created movies, we understand there is a huge crunch of time, like booty crunch time, for this movie to be released in the time that they're calling for.
Unless they're trying to get like 90% of the stuff in practical.
I don't know. And if that's the case,
really
then great.
To do. I mean, that's
it's not that, but we do that though. So it's not
right. But we don't do like ghosts. Like the whole thing isn't about these ethereal beings and as with as much detail as they have.
Maybe the movie doesn't have any ghosts in it. I mean, a lot of to be quite clear, the majority of Afterlife used practical effects, like the creatures, like the dogs, and
a lot of those. So I'm talking about like all the ghost scenes and we're like flying around and the plasma.
No. I get all that. I'm just saying, like, if they were to kind of follow that similar formula, perhaps they could just crunch it down in 9 months. Maybe they can get it done. It's a possibility. And again, there's not been an official word from the studio that there's going to be a delay.
Right. It's just a lot of speculation because of the time crunch.
And it's pretty severe. And and you and I both know what it takes to make some of these things.
One semester when we were in school, 9 months. It was 9 weeks for a semester. But like the time that you make a baby.
The baby baking.
They're gonna have a whole movie, and that's one hell of because they do.
That's one hell of a child.
Yeah, they do say when you make a movie, it's your baby. And
there you go.
You got to be willing to do bad things to it.
And if you cook it for 15 months, that's too long. Yeah.
It'll come out with a cigar and
hello, my baby. Hello, my okay. We're old guys. These are the jokes. All right.
Has a room with a view.
So something that, speaking of Nintendo from previously, I know our segue was
really poor. That might be a millennial Gen Z joke that they're. Yeah.
The WB frog.
Well, no,
I mean, it wasn't even the WB frog. That was a joke from a long time ago that was used by the WB.
That since the millennials and the later generations have like not left home later and later and later. Now this generation is going to take it a step further and not leave the womb later and later and later.
I mean, each generation's got to one up the other. So,
right.
Or whatever.
Up one the other.
Oh. Up one the other, or in one the other, because that would be technically they'd be in one the other. Okay, anyways, so Nintendo about 2 weeks ago, but we didn't do a show last week, so Nintendo Direct came online. We got to see some great offerings from Nintendo because, of course, they always put on a cool show and they just like to do their own thing now. But Nintendo Direct released, and of course, one of the giant announcements from Nintendo. It's obviously been speculated. It has been confirmed that it's been in the works, but they are a little bit further along than most people anticipated. And they released kind of a teaser trailer for the brand new Legend of Zelda game. Now, a lot of people are calling this Breath of the Wild 2, but the official title for the upcoming Legend of Zelda game is actually just The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. It seems to take some elements, in my opinion, from Skyward Sword and add them into the Breath of the Wild environment, which I'm not going to complain about in any way, shape, or form. I thought Skyward Sword was an incredible Zelda offering. And, of course, Breath of the Wild, not a lot needs to be said about that game being one of the most highly acclaimed, if not one of the best Zelda games that has ever been created. The replayability, the accessibility, the ease of all of that was a classic Zelda game, and it made me very happy to play. It made me very happy to beat it. And of course, I restarted and almost immediately when I finished because I was like, I'm going to keep doing this. And then there's the extra special kick-ass reward if you get the DLCs and then you do some extra stuff. You get the motorcycle, and you get to drive a motorcycle in freaking Hyrule. It was awesome.
Well, let's get to this because I'm bathed in red at the moment. Like,
Oh
So
yeah,
thing
you're
is like-
bathed. You do look pretty ominous. I like it. Like we are definitely the Sith and Jedi right now on this show, and I'm very. You know what? We're just, from now on, that screen stays in the background. That looks awesome. You look like a fucking Sith Lord, and I love this. Can we make that like the
color?
the thumbnail? We'll put a hood on you. Let's do the whole thing. Anyways, I went way off track.
Darth
Anyways, so
Maul.
so we've decided. I'm sure 4.4 million people have seen this already. If you're not one of those 4.4 million people, congratulations. Welcome to the show. We're going to show you guys the teaser trailer for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And they've even got a release date, May 12th, 2023, guys. Enjoy. We're going to let you guys watch and enjoy as well.
I like how it says like game.
Oh, Shiza!
Game footage not final.
I need a towel. Like, I love this. This is awesome.
Okay, that reminds me.
It does a little bit. This almost has like an eco Shadow of the Colossus type feel to it, with the presentation of the map and the mechanics. It like honestly feels a lot like that to me. Like everything is way over the top in its size. But that was it, guys. That was the teaser trailer for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm excited. Looks beautiful. I mean, they're running the same engine as Breath of the Wild, so of course it's going to be great. But 5/12/2023, that's from Nintendo specifically, so you know it's going to be what it is. I do need a towel. I wasn't kidding. I was being quite serious when I said I needed a towel, not because I was messing myself. I literally need a towel. Oh wait, I found one. Ha ha!
Oh yeah. Who did?
Oh, Tom.
But the speaking of leak or like games and stuff that had stuff coming out about it. One I think it's Rockstar. I might have a had been in the news.
Yes. With a leak of GTA 6?
Yeah, with a certain leak that is on the horizon, or that came out pre-alpha footage, and people were like, "Oh, this look like it sucks, man! Like this is just so terrible." This is
newsflash. Unfinished game looks
like,
unfinished.
It literally like, oh, this looks like a Unity project. Like, dude, like literally, you're lucky that it's not wireframe. Like, honestly, he left me alone. Let's see, I'm all by myself. But given the fact that it is pre-alpha and that there is literally it's just testing systems and whatnot, they immediately threw DMCA things down and to try to squash the visuals, which goes to show you that and they didn't even like make any stinks about like whatever. They just said yes, things were released, but we are not. We're not going to have that interact or interfere with our release schedule. Things are going to go on just the way that we intended them to be, the whole 9 yards. The issue is the person who hacked and released the stuff has made the claim that they kind of did the whole give me money or I'm going to release the source code for GTA 5 and 6. And if they release the source code for both of those, then
we're good.
If they release the source code, then you're looking at like severe hacking, breaking the systems, cheats out the wazoo because you can put it into the source using the source code. You can.
Well, I'm gonna be really honest with you. GTA 5 has been hacked 1,000 times anyway. I mean, people already have the source code for that.
Well,
I mean, that's not a realistic threat from anybody, and that's probably why
Right.
Rockstar was just like, yeah, whatever you want to do, bud.
right, but they have they're talking about leaking the source code for 6.
Now 6 would be an issue. Now, but from my understanding, they're running the same engine as 5 anyway. So I mean, presumably the same things.
Yeah, but the source code isn't the same as engine.
I was getting to that. I was thirsty.
Yeah.
Which is what caused the entire spill to begin with. It exploded. What I should have had you do was actually talk about the great offerings that we have from Humble Bundle. We should have probably just ran that one. I was like, oh, I gotta find his hell. But anyways, so yeah, if you guys would like to actually learn how to code and do things like break GTA 5, then you should check out some of the offerings that you can find on Humble Bundle. It's a great place to get some books, some games, all kinds of interesting things, and you can find them in a very convenient location. Bundle them together and save a crap load of money. I could talk about it all day long, but unfortunately, I'm not as adorable as Cartoon Topher. So, without further ado, Topher, cartoon version, of course. Take it away, buddy.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Humble Bundle sells games, ebook software, and other digital content. Its mission is to support charity while providing awesome content to customers at great prices. They launched in 2010 with a single 2-week Humble Indie Bundle and have grown into a store full of games and bundles, a gaming membership service, a game publisher, and more. Join them and pay what you want for curated bundles of games, media, and software. All proceeds support charity and the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Visit a link on the screen and in the description of the video to support the channel and help the cause.
He's so cute. So cute. So cute. He's an adorable little guy.
I got to remember to hit the button.
So yeah, GTA 6 with its leak, very interesting, and it made me laugh. Because
Yes.
I seriously, like, the minute people were like, this game looks like crap, I probably posted this like 50 times on Twitter. I was just like, this just in, unfinished game looks unfinished. Weird. They're like, this game doesn't look very good. Because you're not looking at a game. You're looking at a test. You're looking at a test screen.
You're lucky that the pre-alpha
was not wireframe?
it was not wireframe.
Right.
Because they just put random textures up there because they're making sure hit systems work, that checkboxes work, that the core foundations of things are going to function, and they're fixing those before they make it look
to
pretty.
break this down in a practical way for some people who may not get it. Imagine if you ordered a Ferrari, okay, and they build it for you custom, and you show up to the shop, and all you see...
Oh, no, I got it better. Imagine...
ordering a Batmobile?
You're ordering a Batmobile.
There's a story behind that, folks. Check out our video library about the Batmobile on trial, and you guys will get a kick out of the absolute lunacy that some people have, especially rich people.
Yes.
Holy crap. Anyways, yeah, so imagine buying a Ferrari and going in there and seeing them working on your engine, but there's no actual body or frame, and you're just like my Ferrari looks like crap. Yeah, no shit. Like, it's unfinished, you idiot.
It doesn't poop out that way.
No, they don't. Like, a dude doesn't just magically... I understand that some of you are some Potterheads and you think that magic is real, but I break it to you right now. The only magic is the magic love that I'm just kidding. There is no magic. It's just not. There's practice, there's patience, and there's practicality. There's no magic. Stop it. Stop it. Ghosts are real. Magic is not.
I was going to say, I have a book coming out sometime in the next year, if I can get it written.
I'm not saying that there are things that can't be explained through our current knowledge of science, because there are things that are inexplicable using our current scientific methods.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would hesitate to use the term magic because that references like illusion work and card tricks, and no, that's not.
I've been waiting for you to say "to be fair," like
to be fair.
You like to be, and I was like to be.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyways, so to be fair, the game was unfinished.
To be fair.
To be fair. Anyways. Okay. I know you've been itching the whole show. I've been stalling because because I think it's funny because you've been chomping at the bit. Chris, Topher right now.
So you
Tell me about you.
So you and the boys were walking to Outpost the other day.
We were. Tell me about Rust, man. What's going on? It's Rust.
Rust.
What did you do? What have you been doing? Let's go.
Anybody who's like watched like this show in the past, I don't know, year.
No, it's about 5 or 6 months. It's been a real dedication the last 5 or 6 months.
Well, I'm talking about like when I first picked it up, I hated the game, and I was not like quiet about that. I was like, this game, whatever, yada yada yada, is full of toxic people. In fact, it was a couple weeks ago.
Honestly, one of the most toxic environments I've ever been a part of. 100%, hands down.
Yeah, no, and that's what we're So what happened to change?
And I've played against 12-year-olds dropping the N-bomb in a Call of Duty chat room, like a Call of Duty lobby, I should say.
So you're looking at, like, you're going to ask yourself, like, what is it that has made me stick with it? One, like, if I can get building and get
you're a masochist.
Apparently,
yeah, that's
like if I could get under whatever and get my timings right and stay out of everybody's way and do all of that stuff, then I was able to survive as a solo. But then I figured, like, it's not me figuring out. I was actually being shot by one of my neighbors because, you know, when you go, when you're out running around, you can't see the name tags over people.
Just
so
out of context, YouTube clips. Keep going.
But you know, it was like, hey, it's me, hey, it's me, hey, it's me. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, like they would like not steal my stuff, and it was one of those. It was like, hey, you know what? Here, just join our team.
Join our guild. That doesn't exist.
Just join the team. That way, we know where you're at, and we won't shoot you anymore because they were doing their own thing. And we started talking about stuff. They were new-ish to Rust. They only had a couple wipes under their belt, and you know, at that time I had 300 hours.
It's gonna piss you off if I join a random Rust server and just dominate. You're gonna be so angry.
No, you are more than welcome to try.
You're gonna be angry if it happens. You're gonna be like, I don't understand how you did that. And I'll be like, because I am toxic. Because I am vicious and savage.
Because I mean, these are the people that they see you naked, they will shoot. Like, you spawn in, and if you
don't naked guy, kill it.
Yeah, if you don't spawn in at the right time.
Oh no, I know.
You're dead.
That's why I got at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning is when I start.
Yeah, and depending on the server.
Right.
But that's what it got to. Like, you know, we were hanging out, talking and doing whatever, getting to know each other and over the thing. And they invited me to their Discord, and we were hanging out, having a good time. I actually joined the team. I moved my base over, and we started to build up, and we had a good rapport. And it literally, because of those guys, has been the one thing I've been doing for like over a week. It's like, just get up, I'm on there, I go lay down, I sleep a little bit, I do some other stuff, that I hop back on, and we're on until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when they're all over. So you know, it's like, you know, one person
jumps off, another one jumps on.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate with my online gaming experiences. I've always been able to find like a decent crew to kind of run with and play with.
This is the first time for me that I found somebody who's not.
I got really super bizarrely lucky when I was playing Call of Duty. I believe it was Black Ops. I think it was the first Black Ops game. It might have been Modern Warfare 3. I don't remember which one was first. It might have been Modern Warfare 3. And I ran into a group of players, and we were playing my favorite game mode at the time. And I believe it was Modern Warfare 3. It was Domination. And I don't remember the order they came out in. That's why I don't remember which one it was. But whichever one was first was the one where I met them. And I ran into this group of players. And they were a squad. And so I went through and I held my own. I was one of the only ones that stuck around because they were good at what they did. But I was one of the only ones that stuck around and gave them problem after problem after problem. I would not let them get on kill streaks. I would intentionally hunt them down. I would stop them from getting certain things. I would clear objectives. Like, I was actually playing the game the way you're meant to play, right? Not really caring so much that I got killed. But after the game, they're like, "Hey, man, that was really a good job. Like, you did a good job, man. It was pretty cool. You know, I can't believe you stuck around and everybody else bailed." And I was like, "Yeah, it's because they're a bunch of bitches, right?" like I don't care. I'll take my ass whooping. I've never I hate rage quitting.
Like I said, the problem between those two games is Rust. If you put so much, you have so much time into materials that you're gathering. So imagine
No.
like
I've played Rust. I know.
Imagine if you lose
totally different style of game. What I was getting at my online community friends.
Yeah.
So I met them. It was great. I really just got to beat around the bush with it. But funny enough, those particular players, not all of them, but 2 of them, literally lived an hour away from me. Not joking. Like, I'm not kidding. The first group that I linked up with, and it was about like 6 months to a year before we found out how close we were to each other. Because I found out where they lived and they found out where I lived. They're like, "What? No way." And I had a Halloween party and they came to my Halloween party. Like, we've hung out. We have met them in person. And recently, I mean, not terribly long ago, one of our friends that we played with online, he had passed away from COVID. Right. And so like we all kind of, our condolences to their family because we knew their families. Like,
right.
"Hey, man, like I know his son. Hey, dude, hey, if you need anything, dude, reach out to me." Like, we're friends on Facebook, like the whole nine. Like, this is like a full-on community of players, you know, and they'll reach out to me every once in a while. I'm like, "Hey, man, we're just checking on you," because I haven't played with them in forever, you know, but they'll still reach out. "Hey, dude, you doing okay? Everything all right? Like, we see this, what's happening, blah, blah, blah." So I've been very fortunate with the caliber of people that I have been able to associate with on my online gaming. Rust was not that. Rust was not that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it was just weird that I would find a group of people. So like big quick shout out to Guck, Captain Morgan.
Sorry, that's all I thought of when you said that.
Captain Morgan, Eddie, and Fire, or Ice.
Yeah, shout out to those guys, man. Thanks for being cool.
Thanks
Seriously,
for hanging out.
You guys are
with
awesome.
Me, and I
Appreciate
will
you.
probably be right back as soon as we're done with the show. I will be back in the Discord.
I'll be back, guys. I swear. Listen, I just got to do this stupid show that I've been doing for 10 years, but I'll be back on Rust. I'll be back. I understand that. Understand it. 12 years. Yeah. Oh my God. It's 2010. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We've been doing this for a really long time. We finally, like, I don't get it. We finally gained traction. We finally started to get going. Anyways, so
12 years
back
later.
to Rust. Back to Rust and your redemption arc. Go.
So they actually
God, we're bad at tangents.
They made it fun, and I had made the comment that because they're new. There's a lot of stuff that I with them I got up to 450 hours just playing. That's how I went from when they first got together at 300 hours. Like, I added 150 hours in like a week's time.
I need you to get a life. I need you to go touch grass. No, don't. You're allergic to it. Don't touch it.
But so it was just really interesting that I was starting to get whatever, and I was like, "Hey, you want to learn how to do some of this stuff? I have a server over here that I've been using just to test base designs on.
Right.
You're more than welcome to come over and like learn how to run, like run monuments and figure out the little puzzles and do the stuff that the toxic people and the griefers don't let you do. Like, there's way more in depth with the thing. Like, they have a full electric setup to where you can electrify your thing and have like switches and doors opening up and automatically. And
right, but Rust is not that game.
Well, no, Rust. What I'm saying, like,
I know,
Rust, like, I know the toxic side of things in that game, but they have all the stuff there.
So then here's what we need to do. So all of us together need to log in at the same time and then join the same server.
Right. And you know how you do that? You go to rust.geekpublicradio.com, and we have 2 servers that we started. One is our vanilla server, and the other is like a Wild West server.
What do you call it?
Red Dead Rust.
Nerd.
But we have 2 of those up there, and that we do have rules. If you come in, you're toxic, and you start griefing people, and you start doing whatever. This is the place where we go to not have to deal when other people
to deal with you.
Yeah,
we come here so we don't have to deal with you.
So if you're tired of being griefed and you want to actually explore the fact of
and play the game,
if I throw this solar panel up here, I can do door switches and this, that, and the other, and I can actually like write up, and a motion sensor will open the door for me and let me in.
Did you say an emotion sensor?
An emotion sensor.
An emotion sensor. Listen, there's a reason those have never been invented.
and an emotion. Or you haven't said it now. But no, it's actually literally
a motion server.
a motion sensor.
There you go.
Yeah.
I said server. See, I screwed up because I was
But
like,
they have stuff like they literally have stuff that like will message your phone through the Rust app. That'll let you know like, hey, your stuff is getting low. This thing spawned. You know, you can.
So kind of like Valheim was supposed to email you.
Yeah.
Hey, your base is being destroyed.
Yeah.
What? But
anyways,
anyways,
has gone as far as like hooking that up that notification thing to their home alarm system. So like if they're watching TV and not on Rust and their base gets attacked, their house alarm goes off and lets them know that to let them know that their base.
That's what I want for my video game experience: a panic attack. I would love that.
As it is when you're on like we call it like
what? Who's there?
We call it the public Rust servers, like Rustified or whatever is what we've been playing on.
Yeah.
One of their 37 million servers. If you get shot, you don't really jump. You're expecting to get shot every second of the time. When
Right.
you're in the GPR servers, when a scientist turns around and shoots at you, it scares you shitless. You're like, what the fuck was that? You literally jump out of your skin. Like, I'm not used to having to, like we get killed all the time. Scientists suck. Boars suck. Bears suck.
Well, yeah,
bears,
it's a thing. It's a survival game.
But
you have to survive.
It's been nice being able to play with a group of people who get like they want to learn
Right.
the stuff that you can't learn with the pressure cooker that is some of the other Rust servers.
That's fair. I'm gonna jump onto a normal server before I jump in with you guys, just because I want to.
Okay.
Because like I said, I played it. I think I had my first wipe, which was I literally started. I think I got I don't know, maybe 150 feet in. Like I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. Oh, look, I can collect fucking wood and I can do.
I spawned.
Hey, this is neat. Oh, cool. Hey, here's a blueprint. Holy crap! Oh, I can build a wall. Okay, hold on. I'm
spawned in dead.
I believe you. I believe you. Like, and then
they
like literally
killed me before I got there.
Here we go. Throw up a wall. Bam, 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 bam. What the just happened? I'm dead. How did I die? Oh my God, I'm being teabagged. Okay, cool. All right, that's how this game's gonna work. Okay, cool. Spawn in, dead. Okay, let's. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done for now. I'll come back and play this later. Never did.
Yeah, no, that's. But we have, like I said, we have 2 GPR servers, Wild Wild West and
Red Dead Rust. That's a great idea for a T-shirt. By the way, you should put that on a T-shirt. Red Dead Rust, right?
A GPR.
Yeah, GPR. A GPR Rust server. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we changed it instead of GPR, instead of a Geek Public Radio, it's a Geek Public Rust.
Oh my God, you're fired. But do you know who's not fired? The amazing people who designed the T-shirts at tshirtmix.com. You can find some amazing T-shirt designs that are handcrafted by Hua and Nya. They're not actually handcrafted by either one of us, but the designs are. We actually made those ourselves. We put them together on a cool T-shirt designs for you guys. Really, we just stole a bunch of images from other people that was free source and open source, but that's not the point. Well, the point is that we collected them, brought them together in one place, and then put them on T-shirts for you. Okay, there's a lot of hard work and dedication that went into that. The least you could do is buy one,
or 5,
or 5, or 10, or 1,000, and then sell them on your own website. I don't care. I'm not mad. I'm not picky. But anyways, in order to find these amazing designs and these cool ass T-shirts, you do have to go to tshirtmix.com. There you can find all the design choices that you could ever want. You know what? I'm not doing this justice. Cartoon Topher, take it away.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Need your fix for fun shirts and things? The perfect place to get geeky fun t-shirts and other merchandise, including tumblers, baseball caps, and so much more, is tshirtmix.com. Hundreds of designs you can choose from, as well as being the home of Geek Public Radio merch store. Come get our faces on your threads, or just grab one of the several funny designs that we have available. Just go to tshirtmix.com and check out all the fun. More designs are added daily. That's tshirtmix.com for all your novelty tees. Have fun, look around, and grab some awesome t-shirts.
Awesome t-shirts at tshirtmix.com from the adorable Cartoon Topher.
He's way better at it than I am.
He's better at it than I am, and I talk for a living. That's true. Like, actually, my actual job requires me to talk. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, it's had a really kick-ass show, man. I feel like we've talked about and covered quite a few things. It really did. We talked about the Microsoft Activision merger, maybe hitting a little bit of a snafu, a snaggeroni, if you will, from Sony and the European Union.
Snaggeroni, the San Francisco treat.
The European treat. We talked about Breath of the Wild getting its sequel and Tears of the Kingdom. We've talked about your redemption story with Rust and how you're actually starting to have a love for the game again, which is really cool. Talked about leaks and lewds. And wait, no, we didn't talk about any lewds. We talked about God, what was our second subject that I can't even remember? Ghostbusters. Jesus, the Afterlife sequel might have a slight delay, and fans are freaking out, including me, because I'm freaking out. I want my sequel. I want it. I crave it. I need it. The only thing that's going to get me through is that May 12th, 2023 is when freaking Breath of the Wild, or when Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Like, I'm super excited about this. We're chomping at the bit.
And Wrath of the Lich King's getting ready to drop.
I was hoping to go an entire show without talking about WoW. We're so close.
Dragonflight is coming into.
They do actually look pretty cool in their defense, but I've seen them all over my YouTube, and I'm sick to death of it. I don't care anymore. Anyways, so I have been Crazy Chris. That's Topher.
Hi, I'm Topher.
And you guys have been an amazing part of our geeky family. We love each and every single one of you. But again, guys, the best way that you can help us out, like, sub, and share the shit out of this show so we can defeat the evil YouTube overlords that predominate us. And they hold themselves over us, and they make us not do cool content. And I can't show my boobies, and it makes me unhappy.
We have another thing for that.
We do. You guys can check that out at. I'm just kidding. You don't get that. That's behind the paywall. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, have yourselves an amazing night. Peace.
You've been listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys talk about old. Talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and try not to poop in their diapers while they're talking. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Twitter at Free Geek Radio, on Facebook and Instagram at Geek Public Radio, and the website geekpublicradio.com. We'll see you next time.